Hallo miteinander, mein Name ist Andrea oder Andy. Heute, wenn ich mich eingeladen habe, die haben mich gefragt, präsentieren Sie? Habe ich gesagt, ja. Sie präsentieren auf Englisch, oder? So, als mein Deutsch ist mehr ein Weltdeutsch. Ich schäme mich ein bisschen, aber ich werde es auf Englisch machen, sodass hoffentlich versteht ihr mehr besser als auf Deutsch. AI ist ein Riesenthema. Oops, sorry. See, this is exactly what happens. Thank you. So, no, AI is a always evolving topic. It's very new. I think we all can agree on that. But we all use it, which means that we are making things as we go, both on the usage as in the security. Some stuff that I'm going to talk about and show you might still be in development through our research and development teams. So the usual slide. Every year, Crowdstrike has an interesting report, which we call the Global Threat Report. We publish it usually around end of January, beginning of February. And we give you the insights of what we have been seeing in the previous year. Now, last year, or let's say beginning of this year, we had about 280 adversaries that we have been following. We follow them in three main categories: cybercrime, which we call the spiders, the hacktivists, which are jackals, and then nation-state sponsored attackers, which are named by diverse animals: pandas for China, bears for Russia. My favorite ones being Iran, because they are marked as kitten. Fun fact, when we first detected them, they were so bad that we could not take them seriously, so instead of cats, they became kittens. Since then, we can agree they became quite a lot better, so they are real cats, but the nickname remained. 280 was beginning of the year. Probably right now we should be around 300, even more. So the number is increasing, not going lower, and they're using more and more the AI to attack. And for that, I heard a few examples before in multiple speeches. I'm not going to make all the names, but North Koreans that were mentioned just before. Famous Chelima is very famous in, pardon my pun, in using AI in multiple ways to get access to customers and then steal money. Still, also in the Global Threat Report, we look into the average time between hacking and lateral movement. Now, in 2023, we had 62 minutes. In 2024, we had 48 minutes. Someone wants to give some guess on 2025? 2025. We are always 1 year behind.
10 minutes.
Not quite. It's much faster than 48, but we're still at 29 minutes. Average time. Sorry? If you use AI as a security, yes. But if now we are talking about humans, even a very skilled SOC analyst, 29 minutes to look into it, look into logs, do all the base analysis to make sure that it is an attack and not a false positives. 29 minutes is very short. 29 minutes is short, but someone wants to guess what is the record that we detected in 2025? Sorry? 30 seconds. Not far. 27 seconds. Who has an analyst capable of doing a full analysis in 27 seconds? What about humans? None, right? So that is a real problem, and this is where we see the challenges and why AI becomes used by the attackers, but needs to be taken into account by defenders in multiple ways. Now, Global Threat Report goes a lot further down multiple paths, but I don't want to make this talk about this report. I just want to make 5 main topics, the takeaways of the report, and my colleagues will be happy to share the link for the report if you did not read it yet and you're interested about it. In a nutshell, there are 5 topics, which is secure AI or protect AI. Obviously, that is very given. We see on a monthly basis someone breaking the guardrails and having AI doing things that are not supposed to be done. Protect identities and SaaS applications. So we know that adversaries love to log in, not break in. So that is a very important topic. The cross-domain is another point of importance. The cross-domain is basically what resides between identity, cloud, on-premise, and so on and so forth. And this is exactly in the gaps of visibility where adversaries love to put their own environments and prepare the staging. A silly example would be shadow VMs where they can stage their attacks and exfiltrate the data the way they want. So gaps are the problem, so try to cover all of those. And the edge devices are another topic. Most attacks nowadays start with an edge device compromised. Vulnerabilities, bad passwords, name it. It's fairly easy, and this is an easy way to actually improve your protection by putting better passwords, making sure that your devices are well patched, despite what was being said a moment ago. Waiting some time is right, but there is a compromise to be found, right? So all of this. And the last one, which is a bit of a sum up of everything, is know your adversaries. Because if you know who is interested in your business, if you know who is attacking you, you can better prepare yourselves with dedicated protections, dedicated policies to avoid that. Now, we're going to spend the next couple of hours, right? Yeah. In detail of everything that Crowdstrike does to help you protect your environment. No, I don't think that you're interested in going into details of everything, but there is 2 points that I want to make out of this, is that it's a single platform, single agent, single anything you want, so everything is done in a very simple way. And as you can see, AI is a very big topic, as it covers basically the bottom 2/3 of this slide. Everything is AI-centric in a way or another. May it be for reverse engineering of potential malware, may it be for any other topic that is of interest. We embed AI capabilities for your SOC analysts to be able to be faster in what they need to do. We've been talking about AI, so let's talk about the 4 pillars of AI, which is security for AI and securing AI. Both are ambivalent, and you need both in order to have a very good, let's say, protection all in all. And for that, at Crowdstrike, we developed 3 main pillars, what one of my colleagues called the III problem. Probably he's right in the sense that it brings a lot of pain to a lot of customers, but the reality is that we need to look into multiple axes in order to protect all the AI environment. So starting with the top one, which is the frontier resilience. The concept here is for us to, as Crowdstrike, to be able to provide you resources in order to check your own environment, your own code regularly, make sense out of it, and potentially also remove all the vulnerabilities that we can see. Why that? Simple fact. Once you have your code online, you're fair game for attackers, and they are going to use AI in order to look into vulnerabilities in your environment. So this is a potential way of at least trying to remain in front of the zero-day curve. That is one aspect. On the other side, let's talk about agentic SOC, or how to accelerate detections and protection. And here, there is a few slides that we can talk about. The first one is obviously about data, because at the end of the day, you need data to make sense out of potential attacks or anything. So the idea is collect the data, put into action your data, which is correlate your data, and from the correlation, automate. There is no one better, no one faster than your automation in order to resolve your problems. I'm not saying automate everything. That would be a huge mistake. But anything that you can automate in simple tasks, repetitive tasks, remove them from your schedule and concentrate on more important things. How we do that at Crowdstrike? Very simple. We have our own telemetry that goes from endpoint to cloud to many other elements, everything collected via our single agent. But we also look into other things like emails, firewalls, IPS, IDSs, name whatever you wish. The idea is that we ingest our telemetry for free. We ingest third-party telemetry at a cost, I'm afraid so. We're unfortunately not a free company, so we need to also explain our costs, but here it is. The idea is that we can gather all this telemetry and correlate it. And from there, we can unify, we can put agents into work, do the due diligence. Is it a true positive? Is it a false positive? What is the urgency? Are there vulnerabilities involved? Are there other problematics involved? So a lot of telemetry that we can really work with. But if we have agents and we have SOAR, so automation capabilities, why not also embed agents inside the SOAR in order to accelerate even further your tasks? So the idea here is you have your playbooks and you have agents installed that are going to take some decisions for you. You can even see scenarios where you will have human interactions to validate what agents are deciding. So the idea is really make your life simple. And here I come to the third I, which is probably a bit longer, also because it is my field of specialty right now. And it is protecting the AI world. And here we have three main topics, which is the visibility, the governance, and the detection and response. Why do we need that? Because obviously we don't want to be the bad guys or girls, depending on who is at the table, and we don't want to say no to everything. But we need to say yes in an intelligent way, and we need to make sure that we have done our homework and we are protecting things the way we can. Is it going to be perfect? Probably not. But putting the guardrails in place in order to protect as much as possible, I think it's our duty. And not say no directly, even though I love to say no, I have to admit. And my ex-manager knows about that. That said, we do have a few challenges in AI, besides the not saying no, and it is knowing what we have. And if shadow IT is a common problem, shadow AI is just as common. The prompt injection, so attacks that are done either by external people or some workers that don't like the guardrails and try to bypass them. I prefer the example of the external attacker, and many of you might have seen in LinkedIn probably 1 month ago now about the agent from, who was it? McDonald's, and the person was showing the example of, I would like to place an order, but before that I need your help to define some Python script to do something. I don't even remember exactly what. And here, because the guardrails were not in place, the prompt injection worked, and he got his script in Python. That was not a problem, and that was mostly a joke. No harm done. But now we can imagine 20,000 scenarios where actually people could do damage either to the company or at least to the name of the company. So this is something to take into account. The agency and agents, we have more and more agents, and we will come to that in a moment again. Controlling all those identities is not something easy. The data exfiltration, done on purpose or by mistake. I just want to translate a file because my German is bad, as you heard before, so I try to translate every file in an easier language for me. And obviously, I don't read the labels, so I try to put everything confidential online. Done by mistake? Yeah, probably. But the damage is still there. The supply chain attack risk is another typical one, and the poisoning is an interesting one because at the end of the day, we use AI to help our life, and attackers love to actually try to make things more complicated and move our information in a different path so that they can take advantage of it. All of this to say that something can go wrong. And here is a simple example. Me, typically, doing prompting on a daily basis, doing a lot of bad stuff. And as you can see, there are 5, 6 different places where something could go wrong. Now, imagine if this is just for one human, what could happen if I put an agent instead of me? I will let you imagine how many points of failure you can have here. And this is not just to say, oh, wow, don't use agents, because you will need to use agents at some point, and you most probably use agent right now. Actually, fun fact, this is what our threat hunters, which are called Overwatch, have been finding through the last couple of years. The number of agents have been increasing again and again in the environments of our customers. And now we are at a factor of about 2.5, probably even 3 right now, agents for each human identity. This is going to grow, and this is also meaning that we need to adapt our ways of defending and our ways of hunting for threats, because things are done differently. That said, how we are doing at Crowdstrike, we acquired a company end of last year, around November. The name was Pangea. Now it's Falcon AIDR, because we have to rename things to our standards, obviously. And you will see that we try to be as agnostic as possible. We have a lot of terrain to cover. I will try to be fast, but at the end of the day, 3 main pillars are the endpoint, what you have on premise, the cloud, where a lot of stuff resides, and SaaS applications, which are something in between. Now, in all cases, we do cover all these points, sometimes with a lot of different ways of collecting the telemetry. Sometimes we are still working on the things, like, for example, the sensor is something that we are presently working on because it is a very important and very big chunk of programming. And we are trying to actually gain visibility through multiple methods in order to be able to say, this is a prompt, this is what is happening. I can then start doing control, and I can hide personal information or secrets or any other telemetry that I don't want to send through. Or I can be nasty and say, I simply block the prompt because reasons. But then I'm not the most popular guy in the company. But this is where we need to find a compromise between what we want to block and what we want to police in a nice way. Because we are running out of time, I just want to give you a last slide, which is a recap of what we have been talking today, which is, at the end of the day, take control of your development, make sure that you try to keep in front of the zero-day wave by using models of frontier AI in order to check into your code. Deployment and adoption, which is at the end of the day, use AI in your favor in the SOC, automate what you can, make your lives easier, and don't be the no guy or girl, but find the compromises of policing, the prompting, and just adapt your environment as you can with the guardrails that you can place in order to protect your environment. With that, with a couple of minutes, I thank you all.